Continuing the theme of recognizing the victims of mass immigration because our political elite refuses to acknowledge it's their own actions that have brought people here who are very dangerous, I present to you today an absolute hero of the victims of mass immigration. Again, to the censors, that doesn't mean I think all migrants are bad, that I hate different groups simply for immutable characteristics. That's just a lie you use to ignore the real problems that are going on that we really have to start recognizing because no one else is. Just look at the subtitles here as this fella is speaking in German.
Herr Scholz, wir haben jeden Tag zwischen 24 und 32 Messerattentate in Deutschland. Viele davon enden tödlich. Und jeden Tag, wo wir weiter diskutieren, sterben Menschen, es sterben Kinder. Es sind dort Eltern, die am Grab oder an dem Sarg ihrer Kinder stehen, ihrem Kind das letzte Mal im eigenen Leben über die Hand streichen und diese Hand ist eiskalt. Sie haben keine Kinder, sie können es sich nicht vorstellen.
Now, to my mind, there are two reasons why this man is a hero. One, he's obviously overcome extreme pain and difficulty to seek justice for a 17-year-old daughter who was stabbed to death by a migrant from the third world. And he'd probably still be called a bigot even now by the leftist liberals for stating what he's just said, simply because they would believe it could have been anybody, it just happened to be a migrant who stabbed his daughter. With a sense of firm justice, he seeks the truth and he is righteous in his pursuit of it. Now, this is so important because of a theme I speak a lot about on this channel. The liberal mainstream will make out that anybody who's concerned by mass immigration and the increasing danger and violence on our streets is some psychopathic, hateful bigot who's just irrational and monstrous. Yet this man isn't any of these things. He's rational, he's calm, and he's speaking from a deep sincerity that you'd have to be heartless yourself to ignore. Now, this isn't to deny that there are people out there who use right-wing politics as a channel to vent their own hatred and anger, their own inner demons, if you will. It's these people, ironically enough, that do more damage to the right as well as to the victims of mass immigration more than anybody else. Why? Because these people are the pawns of the globalist liberalist establishment. They'll be put on the front page of The Guardian showing how evil and hateful they are as if they're representative of everybody who's concerned by mass immigration. And every now and again you'll get one that goes way too far and becomes fueled by all manner of paranoia and random hatred and then has their journey back to supposed sanity, and they'll call it my journey away from hate and so forth and become pro-multicultural and so on. Basically, it's a big grift. And the great problem with such people is that they make out that being concerned by mass immigration itself is evil. Being concerned that children are being murdered by new arrivals itself is evil. And of course, being concerned by mass migration and children being murdered is not irrational or immoral at all. Quite the opposite. However, if you simply use these things as a reason to vent your own anger and hatred, then you will turn them into dark things that will be exploited by the left-wing, liberal and mainstream media.
Es geht hier nicht um Leute, es geht um Menschen. Und diese Menschen hießen Anne-Marie und Danny in unserem Fall. Es sind nicht Leute, irgendwelche Leute. Das Zweite in der ganzen Sache ist natürlich, wir diskutieren seit Jahren. Seit Jahren höre ich, wir müssen drüber sprechen, wir müssen diskutieren, wir planen, wir versuchen in die Wege zu leiten. Mit Reden kommen wir, glaube ich, nicht mehr weiter. Es wird Zeit, dass wir langsam anfangen zu handeln. Und zwar dringend anfangen zu handeln.
This man is not motivated by anger or hatred. He's motivated by a search for truth and justice, as we all should aim to be. I know in my own personal life, I've had to go deep within to ensure I'm not rooting any of my opinions on darkness. If we can be sure that we're acting from a sense of truth and justice, we will win. To emphasize this point, just compare the optics of the sincerity of this man speaking about his daughter who's been murdered by a migrant and Der Linke, that's the left wing of Germany's political spectrum, and what they look like.
Fährt schon alleine hoch, sehr schön. Hello.
And with this next one, look, I'm not trying to be mean. I can have compassion for this guy and what he's actually gone through, and he's doing very well to get up and speak. But let's be honest, this isn't the best person to be giving political speeches. And on top of that, it's just a sign of this obsession with finding the ultimate minority of modern progressivism.
Dass wir Antworten haben, wie wir People of Color in unsere Partei wieder reinholen.
As I say, I'm not sharing this in any way to laugh at this guy. I can feel quite sorry for him, and he's going through a lot, so fair play for getting up, but it's just not the right optics for national politics. And talking of national optics, here are some other people from the left-wing conference. Not sure if this is a trans man or whatever, and this fellow looks a little bit on the spicy side as well. In conclusion, what we need are men such as this poor man who lost his daughter. He expresses himself truthfully, calmly, and with great composure and a strong sense of justice. This will show up the left wing for what it fundamentally is. It will destroy itself once the boogeyman of the evil far-right maniac is gone. They just don't have a leg to stand on. As always, these are just my thoughts. Do let me know what you think down below. Do consider subscribing to the channel.